Welcome to this edition of the Men's Room Show. Hi, I'm Linda Tilson, creator and host of the show. And tonight, what I'm wanting to do is to take an in-depth, behind-the-scenes look at why I created the show and what it is meant to do for society. And really, what I realized is that there are many spaces and places where women can come and get support. However, men don't have the same places of support. And what's really interesting to me is that when you take an example like the one I'm about to share, then you're going to see why I feel the way that I do. And think about a workplace where you have employees, they know what to do, what comes next, and they take proactive measures to get it done. Those individuals, they want to be recognized for the work that they do and the value that they bring to the organization. And so if you would think that you don't need to do anything because they're taking care of everything themselves, well, think about men in this area. They also want to be recognized for the value that they have and for their contributions and the things that they do. And they need support just like everyone else. Yes, they may be more in number when it comes to top leadership. They may have more opportunities that have been presented to them. However, it doesn't mean that they don't need support as well. And really, the one thing that I realized is that men really need someone that they can confide in, because when they need to be able to have a connection where they can talk about things that are maybe stressful, there's a time where they may want to be more vulnerable, and there's times where they want to grow and get perspectives. And so really, they need a space and place to do that. And why would someone like myself, who's a woman, be championing this? Well, also think about this example. Women naturally will get together and they'll go into discussion. They'll talk about their feelings. They'll talk about what support looks like. They'll hold each other accountable to take steps to take things into action. They do that naturally. They're a nurturing presence for each other. Men, on the other hand, are going to be more about that. I can do this on my own. I don't need any help. And really, nobody wants to say, I need to do it on my own. I don't want to burden anybody. But when you take something such as a men's circle, and it's a space where men can come to express freely what's on their mind, that gives them opportunity to grow and to heal. And what I don't want people to think is that the men's circle is an exclusive support group for men needing to heal, because it's much more than that. It's not, our conversations aren't always about what we need to heal. What we really center on is how can we empower another man to learn and grow. And in some cases, there is some healing in there too. And, one of the things that comes to mind is, what is a masculine man? And when you ask a man what that is, the definition of that is that he carries responsibilities, he's a man of his word, and he provides and protects his family. And that could be through emotional, financial, or spiritual means. And so really, there isn't this whole, he has to be hard to be strong. And if he's soft, then he's weak. No, there's nothing in that. That's what society has been saying. And I want it to stop. And the only way that's going to stop is if we rewrite the script, we come together and we empower one another. And when you have all women in a group or all men in a group, then you only get one gender conversation going. But when you add a woman to the men's group, or if you were to have a man come into a woman's group, the dynamics of the conversation begins to shift and to change in ways where understanding happens. And so really on the men's room show, you will see that we've had female guests as well as male guests. And we do that for a reason, is because if women can understand better what hurts or helps them, then she can come into the conversation and the relationship differently. And the converse is true. Women also need things too. And if we're not expressing in a way that a man can comprehend and understand, well, then how can we expect him to do anything differently? And so really the men's room show is, you know, is really designed to be able to have that space, have those conversations. We have experts that come in that share information with us, but then we also have regular ordinary people, just as you know, such as myself, that come in and just really advocate for these conversations, because I wholeheartedly believe that through conversation and communication, you can build relationships where everyone can feel connected. And while we may not understand someone completely, we can begin to like hear people, and they can say what they need to say, and they can feel heard. And so that is the number one goal. And so what I found is that a lot of times the men will come into a group setting, and sometimes they'll be an observer, while other times they will be an active participant. And so it just really depends on how the men would like to show up. And it also will, you know, depend on the topic that we're talking about. I will say that we also have times where the men would like to show up and confide in someone on a one-on-one basis. And that is actually the more common thing that does happen, I will tell you. So our men's circle groups are pretty small, because a lot of times we will get those one-on-one conversations in our smaller group. And I understand why that would be. And, you know, getting that level of trust to be able to do that is important, but then also understanding that where we come from, again, is not a support group of hurt and damaged people, because that has a stigma to it, that why would I want to show up to that? No, we're about empowerment. We're about learning and growth. And, you know, part of the healing is developing and learning new skills, learning new ways of being. So it's really all of those things. And so what I'm really excited about most is the theme for this year's International Men's Day. So it's really about empowering positive male role models to be in the men's access. So when I say be in the men's access, I mean so that they know who they can reach out to emulate the good, healthy behaviors, you know, who can support him on his mentorship journey, who can show him what it means to be a great father or a great partner. All of these things are wonderful. And, you know, a lot of times when we're looking for people that can show us the way, we don't always know how to get there. And so part of that day is to learn how a person would find a positive role model, how a person would find a mentor. And there's so many different ways. And so really it's about a day of coming together for mutual support, because what we want at the end of the day is for men to walk away with tools and resources. And the third one, the connections. We want them to walk away with possibly having a mentor, or they could have a peer that could be their mentor. And really being able to know how to look for people in those spaces, because I will tell you, as an adult, it's not always easy to make friends. It's not always easy to not be shy going into places and, you know, having conversations, because there's that level of rejection. There's that level of, am I good enough to be in that room to go ask for assistance on how I could possibly proceed in my business, how I could find a mentor that could show me how to become a podcaster, how, how all these different things that you could go into conversation for. And so really this day is set up to do just that. And so we're really excited to have a great group of men that are on my team. And they are excited to come to the table, to have a circle of sorts, to go into conversation and dialogue and brotherhood. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm creating the space for that to happen. And so, I'm going to be in the role of facilitator during that day. And really, the men are going to lead us, and I will be in the background. And if I'm needed, then I can come forward and assist. I will be partnering with one of the gentlemen, and we're going to talk about what mentorship is and how to have mentorship conversations, which is the piece that I thought that I could bring to the table. And so that is my contribution. And so really, I just wanted to have this conversation of why I show up for men's wellness, championing it as a person from, a woman's perspective. It's because why would I want to live in a world where I didn't understand all of the men that I work with, that I'm actually growing because I have two sons, I have a husband, and so why, my friends, why wouldn't I want to be a better person in relationship with them to figure out what it is they need? As humans, we need that interconnectedness, and so it's just an area that I love being in this space. I feel comfortable having conversations about anything, and when I say that, I mean anything. And yeah, I'm excited about what we're doing and where we're going. And yeah, if you have any suggestions on more topics that we could bring to the show, types of guests you'd like to see, types of activities that we should host, I want to learn about all those, because really I have every aspiration to grow this community and to offer more resources. And I want to do it in a way that the audience is looking to. The things that you guys are looking for, I want to hear about it. And so with that, I'm going to keep this episode short, but I just wanted to really come to the space to give an up close and personal of what is going on in the men's room. And with that, I will see you on November 16th.